Louisville will no longer be a sanctuary city.
Mayor Craig Greenberg announcing a major change to how the city handles immigration holds at its jail.
America, we just witnessed the first major crack in sanctuary city resistance. Louisville, Kentucky just threw in the towel and dropped their sanctuary city status after getting a strong worded letter from Attorney General Pam Bondi. Mayor Craig Greenberg basically admitted he was more afraid of losing federal funding than protecting criminal illegal immigrants. But here's the kicker. Louisville was literally the only city in Kentucky still protecting criminals from ICE. Every other city in the state was already cooperating with federal law enforcement.
Now, the jail will begin starting that 48-hour notice to the feds before releasing those undocumented inmates.
What is up, guys? Tyson De La Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This is exactly what we voted for. No more safe havens for criminals, no more games, and no more treating our immigration law like suggestions. The domino effect has officially begun. Let me break down what just happened in Louisville. After years of refusing to cooperate with ICE, Mayor Greenberg got a letter from the DOJ saying his city was violating federal law. And faster than you can say federal funding, Louisville completely folded.
I've been assured by the United States Department of Justice that if we reinstate the 48-hour detainers for inmates who've been arrested for crimes, Louisville will be taken off the federal sanctuary city list.
You notice how he says, I've been assured? Like he's negotiating some kind of business deal instead of talking about public safety. This guy was so desperate to get off Trump's naughty list that he threw his entire sanctuary policy under the bus.
As your mayor, I'm committed to supporting our immigrant community. I am also committed to improving public safety and protecting our entire community.
Oh, now you're committed to public safety. Where was this commitment when you were protecting criminals from deportation? This is the classic Democrat two-step. They only care about public safety when their federal funding is on the line.
Mayor Greenberg says the goal is to focus on serious offenders, not everyday residents, and protect immigrant communities from large-scale ICE raids.
Here's what drives me absolutely crazy about this logic. They act like ICE was just randomly grabbing people off the streets. These are people who have been arrested for crimes and are sitting in jail. We're not talking about law-abiding immigrants. We're talking about criminals who shouldn't even be here in the first place. So what really changed Greenberg's mind? Was it a sudden concern for public safety, or was it a newfound respect for federal law? Nope. It was cold, hard cash.
Greenberg said he received a letter from the U.S. Attorney General's office last month saying the city was violating federal law. That's what landed Louisville on the Trump administration's list of sanctuary cities published in June.
Louisville was facing a loss of hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funding, and suddenly protecting criminal illegal immigrants doesn't seem so important anymore, does it? It's amazing how quickly these Democrat mayors find their moral compass when their budgets are threatened. Attorney General Pam Bondi didn't waste any time taking a victory lap either. She posted on social media, "Follow the law, get rid of sanctuary policies, and work with us to fix the immigration crisis."
A win for the Trump administration, as AG Pam Bondi pointed out on X just before the mayor's comments, saying in part, "Follow the law, get rid of sanctuary policies, and work with us to fix the illegal immigration crisis."
And you know what? Good for her. This is exactly the kind of pressure we need to put on these sanctuary cities. You want to protect criminals? Fine, but you're not getting taxpayer money to do it. Let's talk about what sanctuary cities actually do, because the media loves to paint this as some type of humanitarian issue, and it's not. Sanctuary cities are criminal protection rackets, plain and simple. Here's how Louisville's policy worked. When somebody got arrested and they were booked into the jail, Metro Corrections would only give ICE 5 to 12 hours notice before releasing them. That's barely enough time for federal agents to even get to the jail, let alone process the paperwork.
Right now, Metro Corrections provides that notice to DHS about 5 to 12 hours before the inmate is released. Prior to 2017, DHS received 48 hours notice.
But that's changing.
So criminals who shouldn't even be in our country were getting a head start to disappear back into American communities. And Louisville was the only city in Kentucky doing this. Every other city in the state was already giving ICE the full 48 hours to pick up criminal illegal immigrants.
Louisville is dropping its sanctuary city status after pressure from the Department of Justice. In May, Homeland Security listed Louisville as one of 500 cities blocking immigration enforcement.
Think about that. 500 cities across America are actively blocking immigration enforcement. That's 500 cities where criminals who entered our country illegally can commit crimes and then get released back onto the streets instead of being deported. What we're seeing here is the Trump administration's brilliant strategy of using economic pressure to force compliance with federal law, and it's working. Meanwhile, in New York City, they're doubling down on this insanity. Border czar Tom Homan just announced they're going to flood New York City with ICE agents after an off-duty Border Patrol officer was shot by an illegal immigrant in Manhattan.
Yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Border czar Tom Homan slammed Mayor Adams and the city council after an off-duty patrol officer was shot by an undocumented migrant in an attempted robbery Saturday night.
So how does Mayor Adams respond? He blames the city council. He says they won't let him change the sanctuary city laws. This is the same guy who's been virtue signaling about protecting illegal immigrants for years, and now he's trying to pass the buck when federal agents are being shot.
We have communicated with the city council. They made it clear they're not willing to change the law. We're doing our job, and now we need the other parts of the criminal justice system to do their job at the same time.
Louisville's capsulation is just the beginning. When other sanctuary cities see that Louisville chose federal funding over protecting criminals, they're going to start doing the math on their own budgets. Border czar Tom Homan made it clear that sanctuary cities are now a priority. We're going to flood the zone.
We're going to flood the zone. You don't want to let us into jail to arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a jail. You want to release him into the street, which makes it unsafe for the community, makes it unsafe for the officer, makes it unsafe for the alien. Anything can happen on a street arrest.
Unlike the Biden administration's catch and release policies, Trump's team is serious about this enforcement. The message to other sanctuary cities is crystal clear. You can either cooperate voluntarily like Louisville did, or you can have your federal funding cut and deal with massive ICE operations in your communities. Either way, the days of protecting criminal illegal immigrants are over. America, Louisville's surrender represents something much bigger than one city changing its policies. It represents the return of law and order to our immigration system. For years, sanctuary cities have operated as criminal protection rackets, allowing people who entered our country illegally to commit crimes and then disappear back into American communities instead of being deported. Louisville was literally giving criminals a head start to escape federal law enforcement. But when faced with the loss of hundreds of millions in federal funding, Mayor Greenberg principles magically evaporated faster than morning dew. Suddenly, protecting criminals wasn't worth the price tag. This is exactly what the American people voted for in November. We want our immigration laws enforced. We want criminals deported, and we want cities that refuse to cooperate with federal law enforcement to lose their taxpayer funding. Louisville just became the first domino to fall, and I bet you it won't be the last. When other sanctuary cities see that the Trump administration is serious about cutting off the money spigot, they're going to start making the same calculations Louisville did. The era of sanctuary cities protecting criminals is coming to an end, and I got to tell you guys, it's about time. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comments section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.